Hello and welcome to today's edition of Let's Talk. I'm so excited today to be talking about the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools Education Foundation. And today joining me, I have Carol Montague Davis and Marilyn Parker, who are two board members on the foundation. And so we're going to learn all about the foundation today. Why was it started? What are the goals? What accomplishments have already happened? And so we're just going to be learning about all things Education Foundation today. So thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting us.
So glad you're here. I know a part of today is just getting the message out, and the foundation was formed a year ago, and I can't believe all that you all are already doing. So thank you so much for the work you're doing. And I know it was inspired and it's been driven by the community. This is not a although it's a Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools Education Foundation to support education in our district, it is not our foundation. It is a kind of community-led foundation. So we're going to learn all about that today. So I'm really excited. So I'm just going to start, and either of you can answer. What is the mission of the foundation and some of the goals that have been set by the board?
Okay, thank you again for inviting us. We're so excited about the start of this foundation because being in education for so long and in this district, we saw some needs and some gaps sometimes that we could help support some important things that are going on in the classrooms for the teachers. So our mission is just truly is to secure financial support and resources to enhance student learning and achievement in the Winston-Salem Forsyth County schools. So that's what our total mission is to give financial support that aligns with the strategic plan of the district. And we know that one of the big strategic plan goal of the district is literacy.
Yes.
So with our grant, with our foundation, we will be supporting the literacy part of what is going on with the strategic plan. So one of our biggest goals is to provide that. So we're getting ready for our first cycle of our grants to our teachers. So we have a award day coming on March the 1st for our first teacher grant cycle. So we are so excited to show that we started, next month would be a year, March 2023, and we are ready to award our first cycle of $15,000 up to $500 to $1,000 grants to teachers. And we're excited about all of the applications that we have had. So we're meeting our first goal.
Yeah, I love it. And I have been so impressed because from the first meeting where you came to a board meeting and talked about the kind of the launch of the foundation to today, this has been committed members of our community, committed to public education, committed to our school district, and financing, and continuing to support financing and initiatives that the district that are part of the strategic plan. But it's moved so fast, and I've been the whole time, and with everyone unpaid. Like, it's all been volunteerism, which has been so impressive. Like, there is nobody on a payroll that has been hard at work, and I mean, it's been tons of hours, and I'm just so impressed, so thank you for that. Can you talk more? You talked about the mission. Can one of you talk a little bit more even about what inspired the creation, and when you think about the specific needs it does aim to address, just add on to what Carol said. Did you want to add to
Sure. Well, the creation of the foundation has been kind of in the works for a long time. We have talked about a foundation within Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools, but we had so many great foundations here in Winston-Salem that they're, we felt like those did what the school system needed for a while, and so but we're to a point now where we could use more.
Yeah.
So most districts have had a foundation for a long time. It's not a new idea. Even small districts like the tiny one I came from has had a foundation since 1990. So we're excited to have this here that can supplement what the schools need, and so many times the money that comes into a school system is earmarked for certain things.
Yes.
And there are other things, creative things, and things that don't fall within that purview that need to be done. And so the foundation, that's what the foundation is for. It is for all those things that can just supplement teachers and learning in Forsyth County.
That's great.
So
Yeah,
we're
more
excited.
flexible, I guess, more
More
flexible.
flexible
No,
funds.
more flexibility. Flexibility. Oh, I'm tongue-tied today. I'm sorry, guys. More flexibility. And so let's talk about, you could talk about several initiatives you're thinking of, but let's start with the first one, which when you all decided to launch your first initiative was going to be to provide grants to teachers in our classrooms, which is great. And so let's talk about that. Talk about what the purpose is, when it launched, what your first, like, have you had a lot of applications? Just talk a little bit about that initiative.
You want me to start?
Sure.
Okay. We launched it, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 months ago, we launched the application out on our website. And it's been so much feedback, but we want to say thank you to the school system for partnering and working with us, because that email that was sent directly to the teacher just began to bring so much excitement. And so right now, I guess publicly I can say, we have about 31 applications for our first round.
Very good.
And they're coming from all areas of schools.
Good.
Like elementary, middle, high, all department areas, and we haven't had an opportunity to go through it yet. We're creating a rubric so we are fair about the assessment of the grant. We're using a rubric format for doing that, taking all school names off so we can be as fair as we possibly can with that, with the grant piece. So it's just excitement to see the excitement of the student, of the teachers and the schools about it. But I guess what I want to say mostly about it is that just that we are excited in the sense that we have a board that we put together, and we call our board Champions for Educators, that are believing in public education and believing that of the things that we're doing. And so on our board is very true about that. And we wanted to prove to the community that we're not here just to be here, to sit here and do nothing. We want to show you that within a year, we have launched $15,000 worth of teacher grant. So that way that the community can see that we're not just here for a moment, we're here to stay, and we need everybody's support to help in the funds of getting funds to make sure that we can continue these initiatives. And some of the other things that we're looking at eventually is that we'll look at your strategic plan and see how we can raise enough money to be able to support some initiatives that's within the strategic plan that we have.
That's awesome. And so is it, so 15,000, is that the first?
Yes,
It's the first
that's the
round.
first round. And the second one, we're getting ready to launch another one in May
Okay.
of 2024, and that's going to be a $20,000 grant, but that is going to be for teachers and students.
Okay.
So let's say a teacher want to take a student this summer for some enrichment that they just don't have the funds to be able to do. They can apply for the grant during that time,
Okay.
and we'll be able to provide them some funds. So we have a $20,000 cycle
That's
coming up
great.
for cycle
schools,
2.
Yeah, and schools can also apply.
Yes.
Let's say they wanted to do
PD.
some kind of some kind of professional development that to bring somebody in, or even to go somewhere as a grade level
Yes.
or
And
as
so
a
that, and so
school.
that spending is for the summer then?
That is for
That
the
is
summer.
for the
great.
summer. So we thought it was a great opportunity. We know
Yes.
that sometimes students get an opportunity to go somewhere. Or
Yeah.
teachers see a professional development that they want to attend and they don't have the funds to get it or have
Yes.
hard way of getting that. So they can apply for this grant that's going to be launched in May.
Great. So you're doing, so the first one will be coming soon, the second will be May, and then you're doing a third?
In
Exactly, in
September.
the
In
fall.
September,
In
and that'll
September.
help teachers that want to do, or schools that want to do
That'll be-
special projects. And as I know you haven't had a chance probably to look at the applications, but the grants are probably innovative projects or buying a resource that they want to use in their
That's
classroom.
exactly
Is that
what they are.
What you're saying?
And I
Okay.
love it because it wasn't just some of the grants that Marilyn and I just looked through. They're not all like in the academic piece.
Yeah.
They're also in some of the special areas,
Exactly.
some of the
Good.
elective areas.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you can see the need that
That's
we're
great.
not just saying in the application process, but it has to align with the school improvement plan
Okay.
and the strategic plan for the
Yeah.
district, as well as
That
the other
sounds
piece.
good.
Yeah, and another thing is that that we have community people that will be reviewing these grants. It's
Okay.
not going to be just, it won't be us.
Yeah.
It will be people. Donald Dunn is heading up that committee, and
Okay.
it will be people not even on. We'll have one of our board members, but otherwise it'll be other
great.
people. So we try to engage as many community people in doing different parts,
Absolutely.
serving on different committees, so that even if they're not a part of our board, we will be involving lots of community folks in other areas
So,
of what
so
we're
money,
doing.
funding that you all have raised so far is going right back into our classrooms, and I think that's really powerful. It's the money we've raised, and I know that our district tried to help launching with the payroll deduction. I know personally I signed up immediately because a little bit out of each paycheck can go a long way if everybody does that. And again, you know, I don't expect people to all do the same amount, but I mean, a $5 a paycheck for someone, I mean, can make a difference if a lot of people do that. Can you talk a little bit about more, because it's not just us raising money, but it's community members, businesses, other places, maybe in the future doing a payroll deduction to support the foundation or doing a contribution. Can you talk a little bit about what outreach will be and what are other efforts to raise money? Have you all talked about that at the board yet?
Wow.
Well, we have some. We're you know, right now we're trying to get all the logistics
Logistic
and the
pieces.
legal stuff
Yes.
and all that done.
Yes.
And so we've had a little bit of a soft opening where we have, to your point, that we've, you know, done some things like ask for donations through that. And but we do have a one of our committees that we are forming is a marketing and fundraising
Got it.
committee. And so we will be having kind of I think the kind of plan that we're thinking of is a soft opening, and then really once that we, you know, have everything
Yeah.
together, we will go really do a hard sell to the community and to businesses and folks.
Yeah,
So
it'll take time. I mean, there's the first year to be raising money now that you can turn around and get 15,000 in this short time is great, and then the next amount. So it's great. Are you, as you think of has the board talked about other initiatives outside of the grants, or has it been, let's focus on other things that you're
Yeah.
thinking long term down the road? What are some of those other initiatives you all are thinking about supporting?
Well, we have discussed at our last meeting how we can become a part of your recognizing staff members of the week.
Yep.
And so we would like to look at a plan of how we can become a part of that, because what we want to do as well is spread the good news around the system of what is going on. And so the more that we can partner with the system and things like that, we can do. So we're looking at a plan to take the names that you guys have chosen for the month and give some cards out, some gift cards for the winner, putting the names in a hat and pulling out a few of those. So we're working on those details now. I think that the last board meeting, it was
we voted
approved.
on it.
That would, oh,
And
good.
so we're looking to make that happen real soon.
That would be
so that's
awesome.
one thing that we want.
Because that's for those that may not realize it. If you're not on like social media, where we're pushing out 2 employees every day, the faces of Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools. One is always a classified, one is always a certified. So that by the end of a month, you're going to have what 60
names that we
pretty
can pull
much
out.
that you can pull out. I mean, well, 40 names probably. I'm counting Saturday and Sunday too. But yeah, about 40 names, and then that's great. So that's
So that's one initiative that we're looking
Yeah.
at to make that
Yeah,
happen.
to both do a classified and
And
a certified
awesome.
as well. And we also, what we would like to do, a part of what our funds will be, we will endow some funds, just so that we are not going to, that we're here to stay.
Yes.
That we will totally have some
Yes.
money along the way. And then eventually, when after we have a really strong campaign,
Yes.
and we receive a lot of funds, we hope to partner with the superintendent, the board, and in some plans that you have.
Yes.
It might be that you have you need matching funds for some initiative that you would like to do.
Yes.
Those types of things would be the type of thing that where we
That would be
would
great.
kind of partner with you. So we would, is when we have more funds to,
Yes.
We'll be able to talk about that.
Yeah, that
Well,
we
and-
can.
yeah.
We want to kind of set up a real partnership with meetings
Yes.
and
That would
kind of
be-
develop a plan there
Yep.
that we are integrated within the school system
That would be
and
incredible.
how we can work with you in developing.
So many great things are going to come. I do know, as you think about you're going to need, for sustainability, you'll need the infrastructure. So that's
Right.
going to, so, you know, a director or executive director at some
Yes.
point, because right now I know that it's all been, as I said earlier, it's all been volunteer hours of some really committed folks. But having someone eventually on staff, I know in the district I was in that had a foundation, there were lots of things they were able to support because of years of fundraising. And so they supported paying for licensing exams and things like that for teachers in our highest need schools, and they were supported bonus structures for teachers in our highest need schools. Like there are so many things. So I really look forward to the future of all that's to come. It's just, again, unbelievable how much has been accomplished in a short time. And so I'm excited about future strategies, and I'm really excited too that our initial strategies are helping teachers and schools get immediate resources in their classrooms and schools, and then recognizing employees, like two great things that I think are harder to be able to take state funds and stuff and do those things. So thank you for that. I will say another question: how are you like collaborating when you think about community collaboration? And collaborating with school personnel. Maybe talk a little bit about who's on the board, and because that could be one way you're making sure you're hearing from many voices. Do you want to talk a little about your board structure?
Okay, our board structure right now, we have volunteers, as you know, no paid position. We have retired educators on our board. We have board members, retired board members from our board. That is a representative from the board, from the Board of Ed. We have one representative from there. We have a representative from the county commissioner, who's appointed by the county commissioner.
Okay.
We have a representative from from Forsyth Tech Community College, who's appointed by them.
Okay.
And then we have some ex officio members, which is you as the superintendent, the board chair of the Board of Ed. We have a student representative that we have on the board, and we have a parent representative that we have on the board. And all the others people we reached out to some people we knew that was champions for education, and they became board members. Now we are recruiting, so we do need some board members, and when you think you have a special talent and you're a champion for children and a champion for public education, we would love for you to apply. And we have an application on our website.
Okay.
Yes.
We have an application on our website.
If we don't, we will soon.
We will soon. I think it's out there. We created it, so we got to make sure it's out there.
I think it's on there.
I think so too. So we have an application for our board members if you're interested in being a board member. Not a big commitment. We meet at least 5 times a year. So the commitment is not big, but it's a working commitment.
Yep.
So you have to come volunteering and ready to work and be a champion for education with creative ideas. So that's kind of like how our board is set up. So I am right now the chair of the board. We have Neil Tackleberry. He is the vice chair. Okay. We have Marilyn, who is the secretary, and Lori Tiana, she is our treasurer.
Okay.
So and Alvin Atkinson, he is our strategic planner. And so we can show our plan right now of our year 1 of working. We have a strategic plan for year 1, and we have completed, I think, all of our goals that we set for our first year. So you can come and ask for our documents, that we have them in order, because we are a 501c3 organization, a nonprofit, fully looking to raise money for the education in Winston-Salem, Forsyth County schools. So that's kind of like we're our board members.
Yep, that's great. That's great. I love it.
Yeah, and we our bylaws state that we can take on a few more board members, but we want to do that as we progress and we see, yeah, and then people get excited about the foundation. So right now, the folks on there are really, we're, as Carol said, champions for education.
I love it.
Yeah.
We can go from 9 to 15 members, and right now we are at 9. We're at 8.
Well, yeah.
So
we just had a
recruiting more.
resignation.
We had a resignation.
Okay. Well, I am very excited to see like this grassroots. I've seen foundations once they've been in effect for many years, but to see this grassroots foundation just kind of coming up, and how you got your 501c3, how you've gotten board member, just the whole process has been fascinating and exciting to watch, and it's been, again, way faster, and we've got go-getters on the board, so thank you all again so much. What are you, put you on the spot and make you think about this, each of you, what are you most excited about with the Education Foundation? I'll give you a second to think and then ask each of you to respond to that.
Well, I'll go first. Okay. I think what I'm most excited about is I've been able to see the things that other foundations, especially the one where the system that I came up in East Tennessee, the neat things that they have done for the schools, and the way that the community has wrapped themselves around that. I think that the nice thing is that just years ago when technology was becoming a thing, they wanted to put a lot of technology in schools, and it was really neat to see how the whole community, everybody engaged themselves in making sure that technology went into schools. And I think this is going to be a nice conduit for our community to be in schools. Not everybody feels like going and volunteering every week. They don't feel comfortable maybe doing that. But this is a way that they can engage themselves in the education process within our county. And I want this to really reflect our county and how much we value education, and to kind of be a conduit to revive that a bit in a different way.
Yes, that's good. And Carol?
I think I'm most excited about it is that we just have a group of people on a board that is such a champion for educators. And so my excitement comes with them bringing their excitement to make this happen and flourish. And I'm so excited to say that within a year that we are giving out $15,000 in a grant that shows that if we all work together as a team for our children for education and supporting our teachers in the classroom, there's nothing that Winston-Salem Forsyth County can do.
Yeah.
And I just believe that we have the right board, we have the right people working, and we have the right community to be a part to making that happen. And so I'm so excited about the input, the impact that this foundation is going to make on Winston-Salem Forsyth County education within the future. And to look back in 2 years later when I might be completely retired.
I don't know if that's going to happen, but
to see the impact that we have made in such a short period of time, to show that when you have the right people on board and you have the train going in the same direction and everybody believing in the same mission and the same vision of what we're working for, you cannot help but being excited. And I'm so excited to work by some great people we all see the vision and don't mind chipping in and helping.
Yeah,
I love it.
And we would like to say thank you to the school system for giving us a dedicated space to be able to work in.
Yes.
And I think that going forward, that will really make a difference to your point of whenever we are able to have maybe a part-time executive director or whatever, that space it's really important that we be here too.
Yes,
so thank you for that.
Absolutely. And you talked a little bit about impact, like when you look back in 2 years. So I'm going to ask each of you. I know you have a 1-year strategic plan, and so and you could talk about at the end of your 1 year, or you could talk about future. How will you measure impact? Like, how will you know that that the foundation is successful?
That's a great question. Well, I'm kind of like a strategic planner, and Alvin is as well, and we believe in accountability. So our goals that we have in our strategic plan are measurables, and so we have that we wanted to start our 501c3 completed.
Yep. Yes.
We have that we wanted to give $50,000 in our first year grant completed. We have those type of things that we have. We wanted to create a board of 9 members completed.
Yeah.
We wanted to get all of this going. So in our next year plan is we're looking at how we set up our endowment.
Yes.
And so when we get our endowment set up with all the work, Neil is working really hard on that. We've had a couple of meetings already with people who have endowments set up to show us the process to meet with the workup. That would be our goal of completement.
Yeah.
And then we will be able to see how much money in our endowment we're trying to grow. And an impact would be, have we increased our grant amount that we're giving to the teachers? So we're looking at those type of impact. So when we put a goal and a strategy down in our strategic plan, it's measurable. It's not I know we like feel good stuff, but I'm a math person and a data person. I got to see that we have done what we said.
You have an
as
action
well
you're
as
getting it
maybe in a sense of doing some impact surveys about maybe later how you feel about the foundation.
Yeah.
Have you contribute to this foundation? You know, how can you support more of the foundation? So that's kind of like how we're looking to show if we made an impact. So right now, we would say our first year, we have made a powerful impact.
Yeah.
We are kind of successful on our goals, because what we did was worked our way backwards. We said, what have we done? And then we put it down in our strategic plan as our strategic plan 1.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing, and now we have our year, 24 to 26, I think Alvin
we have
has.
24 to 22.
Alvin keeps us on
committees.
target with the strategic plan, because that is his strength. So
Yeah.
we're using everybody's strength who's on the board to help us stay targeted and focused of what our mission is.
Right.
And so,
And one thing with the grants, we do ask them to come back and show us exactly, what they did with the grant, and to kind of have almost a little portfolio of things
Yeah,
that
so
to
you'll-
prove,
yeah.
so that we see. So we're not just gonna give the grant and say, oh well, congratulations,
Yes.
and they say thanks, but we want to see. What they have,
what the
have
result
done.
was.
And and hopefully we'll have some of that stuff out on our website so that the community can see what neat things are happening in classrooms.
That's great. I will say too, because one of the first things you said is that you also are supporting the initiatives in the district strategic plan. And so when you think about some of our overarching goals of 90 by 25, of 90% graduation rate, of closing achievement gaps, of all those things, the foundation, as you think about what you're going to be supporting over time, is going to impact those goals. And so
Yes.
you're going to be able to support what we're doing. You said that support some of the other initiatives as you raise more funds and get more community support financially. You'll be able to have a direct impact on those goals. So so it's
and we realize that literacy is important.
Yeah.
So we keep that as the front forth of all our grant applications that are coming through.
Yeah.
Marilyn is the expert on that piece, being in an elementary school. And also that's how we're really looking at how that we can still support that initiative within the school system that we have.
Yeah. Well, I have one last question for you, and this will be a little plug to everyone who is going to tune into this, and that really is, how can community get involved with the Winston-Salem Forsyth County, wow, I'm so tongue-tied today, Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools Education Foundation? How can the community, anyone watching this that says, I want to support this, how can they get involved?
You want to start and I finish?
Sure.
Okay.
They can, number one, go to the website. There are
Okay.
a couple of ways there. If they would like to be a board member, that's great. If not, they can just let us know that they want to actively be involved, and we can get them plugged into a committee or to something we're doing. I think that, of course, right now our big thing is money.
Fundraising, yep.
We need some funds and to get things really going, and so if that's what people would love to do, then we would love to have that. But we will need some manpower, especially as we really start to do a hard sell. If we have people that are really good at fundraising, marketing, or if they want to put their company out there as a champion for education, we will. We definitely could use their expertise in their.
I think Marilyn covered it a little bit
Yeah.
in a sense, but we have these really
Yes.
nice posters.
All right.
And it talks about the educational foundation.
Yeah.
So if you are a business or you're a school or anyone who would like to pick some of these up to help get the word
Yes.
out, because what our thing is right now is marketing, getting the word out.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that the community is aware that we're here and how you can support us. So we have
Okay.
these beautiful, beautiful
Very
posters that
nice.
we
They're
can
very
give you. And it's clear. It even
Yeah.
tells you about our vision, our mission. We want to make it simple for you. And as Marilyn said, visit our website, visit our Facebook page. I think we're even on Instagram.
I think we
so
are
we
now.
are we are out there marketing for them. But if you feel that you don't have the time and the commitment, your dollars will go a long ways. It will help our students
Yes.
and our teachers here in Winston-Salem, Forsyth County Schools.
Absolutely.
And so that's the support that we could use.
And this is our logo right
Yep.
here. And we did want to be real intentional with our logo that we are education with the book. But Also, this is the
Map.
the county,
county.
and we want people to
County.
know that we're not just concentrating on certain schools, a certain area, that we are
Forsyth
all
County.
of Forsyth
Forsyth
County,
Forsyth County.
and not, you know, we're not targeted to any certain
Yeah.
specific anything. So.
Yep.
After everybody's watching this, and I know they're going to tune in, we want our website to just light up
Yes.
with people who want to volunteer. We want hundreds of applications.
Okay.
We want, maybe after this, donations that you see so important of something that you really, really can support. Then a champion for education, because we know we have a lot of people that champion for kids.
Yes.
They're champion for kids, champion for education, and know that if you give your dollars, they will go back, right back into
Into
the
our classrooms.
schools,
Yep.
into the classrooms of Winston-Salem, Forsyth County schools. We're not here to become a multimillionaire foundation.
Right.
The money that we get, it will go right back. It'd be nice if we become that, because then we can support more
Right,
people
right.
and more schools and more students and more initiatives. But right now, we're just asking small contributions will help,
Yeah.
because we want to continue the cycles that we have started.
Okay.
Because that is one
grant
way of
cycles,
showing
yeah.
our grant cycles that we started. And then in a couple of years, we want to move on
Yeah.
to big initiatives.
things.
So we know that we
Continue
got to
those.
raise
Yes.
at least $50,000 every year
Yes,
to
to continue
continue
the
our
grant
grant
cycle.
cycle.
Mhm.
So that's my small focus right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, how can we raise that amount of money every year to make sure? But we want more. So we're pleading and begging that anyone who could help us to spread the word about the good things that we're doing in such a short period of time, and that you can give any help and
Absolutely.
support that you can, if it's monetary or
Volunteer.
Volunteer.
And if you go to the website, there's numerous ways that you can donate, and they're very easy. You can just, you know,
Click and donate.
Click and donate. And I'm not a computer person, but you know, it is very easy. So,
Well, you heard it. You heard it today. The Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools Education Foundation is up and running, has been for a year. They're about to launch teacher grants and school grants that are going to impact our classrooms immediately. And so this is going to be an incredible organization and an incredible contributor to our pre-K to 12 public education system. And so thank you all for being champions. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Please go to the Education Foundation website. Please become involved. Please contribute. And thank you so much for joining.